Alright, we're so back. Dragon Age the Veilguard just dropped a massive release day trailer, and with it, we know to mark October 31st on our calendars. It's so close now, it's been a long decade wait. With the trailer comes a ton of brand new information, so let's break it down frame by juicy frame. We get a better look at the bad guys, the blighted elven gods, griffins, dragons, companions, relationships, whatever this skeleton with goggles is, blood magic, new enemies, gameplay, and more, so let's begin. Rook, your customizable character, has disrupted Solas's ritual to bring down the veil. Solas was your companion in the last title who turned out to be kind of a big deal and the real main antagonist the whole time, though that's up for debate. By disrupting him from tearing down the veil, you stop both him trying to fix his so-called mistake and stop him unleashing untold horrors on the living. But in doing so, you, well, accidentally unleash the elven gods he had imprisoned there.
Whoopsie!
Like we expected and was hinted, Solas isn't dead. Instead, he's going to Johnny Silverhand all up in your head. He starts by admonishing you for your mistake.
The blighted elven gods walk free, all because you disrupted my ritual.
We'll be battling against blighted gods. Make no mistake, this is the biggest threat we've ever faced in a Dragon Age title. We get a glimpse of one of them, the god on the left, in the flesh here. Hide the Japanese because this tentacle... Wait, is Bellera Japanese? Oh no, don't do this, Bioware. Wait, in the other trailer she's pulled away by a tentacle... Okay, someone's making weird fan art of this for sure. Moving on.
They will not rest until you are on your knees. Fearful, cowering.
Is said by a long-time fan favourite of the series, Morrigan, who's the daughter of Flemeth and a powerful mage. We see how she looks later on, but it'll be interesting to see how she's involved in this game as her mother was killed by Solas, the Dreadwolf, at the end of Inquisition, as you see one elf caught up in its bindings. It almost looks like red lyrium, the substance that drove people mad starting in Dragon Age 2. Then we see one of the gods' power. A singularity forms and the god steps through it. The resulting shockwave sends everyone flying while Morrigan calls you
helpless in the face of such power.
Then it wouldn't be a Dragon Age without dragons. Cue the obligatory roar. Then we get a good look at one of the default Rook options. It turns out this one is modeled after me, which means I won't need to spend hours in the character creator. Oh no, the dragon's back and it's time to... Wait. Who did that to my girl Harding? What the hell, Bioware? I missed that the first time around, but Australia says no to violence against women. That would make much more sense if you lived in Australia. It's a long time running campaign that... never mind. Look, stuff is going down and Rook is standing strong against adversity. People were worried that every enemy would have that saturated colour palette, but the dragons look like their usual dark and gritty selves. Cut back to Minrathous, we see Rook in his casual wear. This is usually reserved for when you're in your base of operations. In this game, it'll be called the Lighthouse, a place between the Fade and the real world. We also see Neve with her hair down, and I must say, she actually looks a lot better than she does with her silly hats on. I wish you could keep her this way. I mean, it's more battle ready, right? It seems we're all in agreement Rook and company are going after the gods, so why did they call it Veilguard and not something like God Hunters? If the reason for the change from Dreadwolf was the game was about the companions, then there has to have been a better name, right? Now we cut to an Alluvian gate. Maybe it's a way for you to get from place to place from the lighthouse instead of just warping there after a loading screen like you do in the other titles. Oh damn it, Neve, why'd you put your hat back on? Okay, well now we're in one of the places Neve said we should look, and the environment is beautiful. It's here we seemingly meet Davrin, who then meets a baby griffin, a very rare creature in the Dragon Age series, and yes, you can pet him, and it seems like he may even accompany Davrin into battle. So you get a tank and a cool pet. It seems every companion will have some kind of point of difference, more on that soon. We see Davrin taking out a Darkspawn. Apparently there's a reason for their visual change, but that is more obvious now. The gods are back and they're most likely
assuming direct control
of the Darkspawn. Here's Davrin's Griffin taking down something, some bad guy. But how cool is that? The good boy is even in the cutscenes. It's going to be so hard to choose which two companions to bring along. Yes, I know it sucks not having 3 slots, but Mass Effect has 2 slots and we love that game. Maybe we'll love this and replay it more often to see the interactions. I want to point out that these ruins are underwater. Yes, we'll be visiting something underwater again, like that mission in the Storm Coast where you drain the sea and, well, if you haven't played Inquisition, go do it now. Remember how I said every companion has some kind of point of difference? Bellera is a mage that uses a magical bow, never before seen in the series, but Lucanis is a rogue with magical wings of some kind. No doubt this helps him be the master mage slayer he's said to be. He damn sure looks like it as he impales one on a pointy crystal. Perhaps the blurring of the lines between the Fade and the real world has given those without magic, magic. I mean, lore-wise, putting up the Fade removed the elf's immortality and more or less removed magic from the world, so maybe, well, you get the idea. It's like what happened in Avatar: Legend of Korra. This structure could very well be the lighthouse, your hub between worlds. Then we get a good look at Bellera, part of the Veil Jumpers faction, being a nerd about ancient elven tech.
I've never seen this before. There's something kind of exciting about it.
How cute. Every companion can interact with the world in different ways, and Bellera can interact with ancient tech, letting you get in places you couldn't before. Though apparently, if you get a high enough relationship with characters, Rook will be able to use their world ability. Now we see an ancient dwarven structure, so thank God we get a dwarven section of the game that isn't all about those filthy elves. Am I right, my dwarven brothers? Well, it wouldn't be a dwarven area without Darkspawn. Look out guys, they're coming right for... Wait, did Harding just use magic? That's the same funky eye thing Solus did in Inquisition. Well, it seems like this is Harding's special thing. She can cast magic of some kind, and no doubt her newfound abilities will be the focal point of her unique loyalty missions. Something is happening to her, and I can't wait to see how it shakes out. I mean, she technically was just a scout in Inquisition, she didn't have anything special about her, so having something like this definitely brings her out into the fold. Now we're in some creepy tomb, and of course, this is where they show Emmrich. Is it Emmrich or Emmrich? I don't know. He's slow walking in a surprisingly less grandpa way than I expected. This man might be the suave we were missing in the team after all.
Let the Fade draw close!
He says as he's either summoning or trying to unsummon this giant skeleton. He's a necromancer after all and will be accompanied by named skeletons. At least one joins in during the sex scene with him, so if you're into that stuff, this is your man. No judgment, but kinda yeah judgment. But for everyone else, that means a mage with his own minions to tank for you. Are you sad about having two companions? Bring Emmrich and Davrin along and you'll have many. Cut to a dark rocky area with statues holding up giant invisible titties. It turns out Taash is trying to
Draw the dragon out into the open. Then attack.
Still not sure what her deal is, beyond that she's a part of the Lords of Fortune faction and a dragon hunter. This may be the scene you meet her. Now this is either a port in Marathas or another city in the north of Thedas. Wait, slow down, are we seeing some romance now?
You and me, Rook. Maybe that's what scares me.
She's scared? I'm scared she'll put the hat back on. At least she takes it off while being scared of her feelings. Here's a crow. No wait, it's Morrigan, the narrator at the start. She's sporting a new outfit with much less boob because these are the times we live in where devs are allergic to them. She's looking badass though and more mature. Maybe her role in this game and even her god-souled son will be bigger than we expect. She'll be definitely a guiding force, and we see her here with Varric casting some kind of spell during a cinematic, so she won't be taking a back seat and watching it all go down, but I have no doubt that we won't be able to select her as a companion. This October, see Lucanis slice through enemies like butter. These enemies are most likely the Venatari, and in the background we see the same tentacle corruption we saw at the start. Wait, do a head count. Where's Bellera, guys? Quick, find Bellera. I can't see her. Please protect her. Here we see Lucanis grabbing a bad girl's staff, and shockingly, he's struck with sudden onset amnesia, and the martial arts prowess he displayed mere seconds ago vanishes. This must be the mage he was hunting, and it must be a scene either at recruitment or during his loyalty arc. Become a leader. With his own epic skeleton companion with funky ass goggles and gloves. Man, this game is quirky. This is an interactable companion that Emmrich controls. I like that he utilizes the space well, filling up his guts with storage. So this scene may be Emmrich's recruitment, as there's the big green skeleton again. So it seems more likely he was casting a ritual to get rid of it. Did you really think we'd get to control a giant boss? Well, no doubt, because they say,
Our gods are back.
That one of the gods summoned this monster. At least Bellera looks concerned. It's your job to make her feel at ease. Between gods returning all the tentacles and now scary blighted dragons, she's going to need it. Yes, these indeed look like enemies you need to bring down. Did you expect anything less? You know what I didn't expect any less of? Blood magic. You, as Rook, are against it for reasons they don't want to reveal, but it seems at the very least, the Venatori get to use it. This is as expected, and Neve seems no stranger to pushing it back, as she's helping in a crusade against them, being part of the Shadow Dragons faction. Perhaps this is one of the cutscenes in her loyalty mission. Rook drops his sword on the table and it cuts to in-game gameplay. Yes, that stab and finisher is what you can do as the rogue. Here's a blue god explosion, a push through the wind trope, big ass dragon descends, and what's this? It's the Dreadwolf taking on a dragon. Its eyes seem funky though. If it was soulless, they would have kept his eyes similar so you could see the glimmer of what he once was. I've been in rooms when they discuss things like this. Perhaps he summoned this wolf, or maybe it's an enemy you'll face, or even an ally. I really hope we get to use this in some form. I'm a big wolf stan. Its location seems to be somewhere corrupted, so it must be a fight against a god-corrupted dragon, right? Especially since it cuts to the gods after. What are you freaks up to? Oh, right, controlling giant skeletons and causing chaos. Wait a minute, this dragon is much bigger than normal and is ascending out of the ocean. It also looks like the one the wolf attacked before. Alright, maybe it is one of the gods in a different form, and that was Solus taking it on. Theory crafted up below. I don't know who this is Tony Starking this orb up, but she seems desperate. This could be another custom Rook as a mage, defending against this golem, though it's hard to know for sure. Holy shit, that's Harding. Wait, Harding perhaps is borrowing some of Solus's powers? She's able to put up magical walls now and turn things to stone. I really have to know what's going on here. So she's a rogue with rogue abilities, but then later gets mage ones. Color me intrigued. This big darkspawn ogre actually looks quite good, menacing. I'm glad not all the enemies are glowy colorful magic, like this pride demon that Rook is slashing through as a warrior. Just look at the effects, it's actually really good. The enemies react to your attacks and stagger in the direction of your swings. Perhaps this was a finishing move against a lesser pride demon, but it's still a large enemy, and it's good to see gameplay where it functions well. Then we see a surprised Rook looking into the distance to find two elemental infused blighted dragons. This one is clearly fire and this one clearly ice, so put Neve, the ice mage, on the fire one and someone with fire damage on the ice one. Simple, right? Probably not so simple. What isn't simple is the wait until October 31st. It's so close yet so far. Pre-orders are now available, but I recommend, like always, waiting until reviews are in and you can see the game for yourself. Pre-orders only get you the Blood Dragon armor, which has seen its way in other Dragon Age games before, and even Mass Effect. These ones have no stats and are purely cosmetic as stated. So that's everything the trailer has to offer. What do you think? More or less excited? Let me know below or jump into my Discord or Twitter to discuss. Regardless of what you think, the story seems to be rich and detailed. I'm excited to see what happens, so for everything Dragon Age, you're in the right place. Ciao friends.